Hello children, how are you? I hope you all are doing well, studying well, listening to your parents, and now you're taking a lot of interest in knowing the history, the geography, and the different features of not only our country but also about the world. But now we are going to focus more on our country. Okay, we have already known about the political division of our country. Now we are going to talk about the physical features of India. Okay, so what do you mean by physical features? One is politically, we know that there are states, there are union territories, okay, and then they have state capitals and all. Now, apart from that, we also came to know that India has some natural barriers. Now, what are these natural barriers? Yes, the Himalayan range, that is the mountain range. Then we also know that there are seas, okay. Now, these are our natural barriers of our country. Okay. Apart from these natural barriers, you have other physical features of India as well. Okay. So, we are going to talk about all that in detail. Okay. So, the learning objective is to talk about the physical features, to talk about the great Himalayas, the islands, northern plains, the Indian desert, the plateau and the coastal plains. Okay. So, let us do a warm up first. The land surface of India varies from place to place. So, if you have travelled out of the place where you live, okay, out of the state that you've lived, okay, you will see that there are different, the area of that place is different, the climatic condition is different of that particular place, okay. You may have lot of mountains there or you may have the sea there. So, these are different features of India, okay. So, the land surface of India, it varies from place to place. It has high mountains, vast plains, it has dry deserts and it also has thick forest. It also has a long coastline, okay, beautiful beaches and many rivers. If we look at the map of India, we will find a whole range of colors related to the different landforms. So, we have different landforms, all these plateaus, plains, okay. So, mountain ranges, what are these? These are known as the landforms of India, okay. So, if you look at the map of it, you will find different landforms, okay, marked in different colors, okay. So, India has everything. It is it's a full-fledged country with everything in abundance, okay. You talk about water, sea, you talk about rivers, you talk about mountains, you talk about jungles, forests, you talk about desert, everything is there in our own country, okay. So, let us start with the physical features now. All the varied landforms and water bodies of India are called together the physical features of our country. So, all these landforms, the water bodies, they become the physical features of India. Now, these features, they have played a significant role in bringing about diverse culture in the country, okay. So, now depending on where you live, okay, there are certain cultural things that you follow, and that is the reason why our country has diverse cultures, okay. A map that shows features like landforms and water bodies, it's known as the physical map, okay. So, Great Himalayas. Now, let us talk about the Great Himalayas first. So, if you, one map is the political map, okay, which shows the states, the union territories, their capitals, and the next map is the physical map, okay. So, on the physical map, you will see the Great Himalayas, okay. Now, what are the Great Himalayas? Starting from Kashmir, okay, the northernmost part of India and extending towards Arunachal Pradesh. So, you are starting from Kashmir, you are moving towards Arunachal Pradesh. That means you are starting from the north, you are moving towards the east of India, okay, Arunachal Pradesh, okay, in the east. It is all bordered, okay. Now, it is all bordered by a big mountain range. Now, this mountain ranges, they are known as the Great Himalayas. Now, the Himalayas, they form a northern or a natural barrier, okay. The Himalayas form a natural barrier in the north of India. So, they are like a natural barrier, okay. They protect our country naturally, okay. The Himalayas is also home to the highest peak in the world, Mount Everest, okay. It is standing at a height of 8,849 meters. Okay. So now this height 8,849 meters is from the sea level. Okay. It is counted from the sea level. Sea level becomes 0.0. Okay. From that point, how high it is. Okay. That is the in meters, that becomes the height of that particular where it is standing, that mountain where it is standing. So it is standing at a height of 8,849 meters. Okay. Rivers like Ganga, the Yamuna, Satluj and Brahmaputra, they have their origin in the Himalayas. So these rivers, they begin from Himalayas. Okay. Glaciers known as the Gangotri and Yamunotri respectively give rise to the mighty rivers, the Ganga and the Yamuna. Okay. So you have glaciers. Okay. Glaciers are made of snow. Okay. So when these melt, they convert into rivers. So the glaciers known as the Gangotri and Yamunotri, okay, the river that flows from them are the Ganga and the Yamuna. The base of the Himalayas is called the Terai region, and it is covered with grassland. So the bottom part of the Himalayas, it's the base of it. It is known as the Terai region, and it is covered with grasslands. Okay. Then you have the northern plains. Now the great northern plains, they lie towards the south of the Himalayas. Okay. So south means bottom. Okay. So north of Himalayas are the mountain ranges, the snow area, snow clad mountains and all, and bottom area, it is known as the northern plains. So rivers like the Ganga and the Yamuna, they flow through this region. The deposition of silt brought by these rivers make the plains very fertile. Okay. Now because of the silt that comes through these rivers, okay, the area which is in the northern plain, it becomes more fertile. It is good for crops, growing crops, okay, for farming. So a variety of crops, they grow in this region. Cities like Varanasi, Lucknow, Kanpur, Patna, they are also located in this region. They are highly populated places. Okay. Then you have the Indian desert. So in the north, okay, we have the northern plains, one of the physical features. So we've done the Himalayan range, then we've known about the northern plains. So if you look at the map of India, okay, you'll come to know about the northern plains, and it is marked in green because it is the most fertile area of our country. Okay. So wherever you see that it is marked in green, you will see that it's more of the fertile areas which have favorable conditions for agriculture, for farming purposes. Okay. Then you have the Indian desert. Now the Thar desert, also known as the Great Indian Desert, is located in the west, covering most part of the state of Rajasthan. So in the west of India, you have the Great Indian Desert, which is known as the Thar desert. Okay. Now the desert is a vast stretch of sand with scarce rainfall and scanty vegetation. So the desert, okay, it's a sandy area. Okay, and that is the reason why the rainfall is less. Okay, in the desert areas, there is very less rainfall. It is like you can say no or very less rainfall happens in that area, and that is the reason why the conditions are not favorable for growing any crops as such. So the vegetation, okay, or the agricultural part of it is very less. The days, they are very hot, and the nights, they are cold in the desert area. This region experiences extreme weather conditions. Camel is also known as the ship of the desert. So camel is the only animal that can survive in the desert, okay, because of the way it is made. It is also known as the ship of the desert because how a ship sails over the sea, a camel can survive in the desert. Okay, his body is made in such a manner that it can survive in the hot desert also. So it is used for transportation by the people. People living in the desert settle around an oasis. Now oasis is a place where there is some water available, okay, and where there is little bit of vegetation that can take place, okay, where they can do a little bit of farming. So the generally people we all require water for our survival. So that is the reason why people live near the oasis, so that they have water and they can grow some crops which can give them some food to eat as well. Okay. Then other plateau. The southern part of India is a plateau. Okay, that is known as the Deccan Plateau. A plateau is a flat land higher than the areas around it. So it's a flat land, but it is on a higher line. Okay. So the Deccan Plateau is not as fertile as the plains. So there is Deccan Plateau is there. It is a little elevated area. Okay, we can say than the other areas around it. Now the Deccan Plateau, it is not as fertile. So not many crops can grow there, although like the way the crops can grow in the plains. Okay. The plateau is bordered by a range of hills, okay, on both sides. So we know, as we all know, that very high when you say very high mountains, they are known as the mountains. Okay. However, the lower areas, they have hills. Okay. They are not very high. All right. So now the hills on the west are the Western Ghats, and the hills on the east, they are known as the Eastern Ghats. Now the Satpura and the Vindhyas, they are the hills. Now these hills, they separate the Deccan Plateau from the northern plains. So there are certain hills that separate the plateau area from the plain area, okay, from the plains. And as we said, it is all divided into two. One is the hills on the west, which are known as the Western Ghats, and those on the east known as the Eastern Ghats. Okay. Now let's talk about the coastal plains. Like we have the northern plains, we also have the coastal plains. So coastal means near the sea. Okay. So the triangular portion of India in the south is called the peninsula. Now why is it known as a peninsula? Because it is bordered by it has water on all sides. Okay. So on all three sides they have water, and that is why it is known as the peninsula. Now it is bordered by a thin strip of fertile land. So if you see, the coastal areas also have a lot of trees and plants and different types of crops that grow near the sea line or the coastline. Okay. Now it is bordered by a thin strip of fertile land that faces the Arabian Sea on the west and the Bay of Bengal on the east. Now these are known as the coastal plains. Okay. The eastern coastal plains are wider than the western coastal plains. So area wise, the eastern plains are wider than the western ones. Okay. Cities like Chennai, Mumbai and cities of Andhra Pradesh, they are located in the coastal plains. These cities are also major ports of the ships, okay, because it is on the coast. Okay. It is on the sea coast, and that is the reason why they have lot of major seaports over there. Okay. Now let's talk about islands. So we have already seen that we have lot of features. India has a lot of physical features. Amongst that, we also have islands. Now what are islands? What do you mean by island? Island is a piece of land that is surrounded by water on all its sides. Okay. So now there are two island groups that are the Union territories of India. Now these two island groups are Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Lakshadweep Islands. Andaman and Nicobar Islands, they are located in the Bay of Bengal. Okay, Lakshadweep Island, it is located in the Arabian Sea. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands can be called an archipelago, as it is formed by group of many small islands. So they are also known as the archipelago. Now Andaman and Nicobar Islands, they are formed with very small islands are there in this Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and that is the reason why they can be called as an archipelago. Okay. Now the temperature, landform, climate and culture changes as we travel from one part of India to another. So if you keep on traveling, say for example, if you start from north and if you start from say Jammu and Kashmir, you to move towards Punjab, you will see that things keep changing, okay, the culture keeps changing, and you know, the type of food they eat, okay, the traditions they follow and the clothes they wear, everything changes according to the as you keep moving from state to state, depending on the weather conditions, the landform where they have, the climate of that place, and also the culture that they follow. Okay, and that is the reason why we say that we are a country which is very diverse yet very united. All right, now let's look at the new words. Physical features, they are the type of land, and the coastal plains, they are the plains on the coastal region. Okay, let's do a quick recall. India is the 7th largest country of the world, and it is the most populated country in the world. The northern part of India has a natural barrier in the form of Himalayas, and desert lies in the west. Okay, it has very little rainfall and very scanty vegetation. Then you have southern part of India. Okay, it is a table. Okay, and that is the reason why it is known as the Deccan Plateau. The triangular portion of India has coastal plains on either side, and two main islands are Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Lakshadweep Islands. All right. So now children, quickly read this chapter. I'm sure that now you know about the physical features of India, and you look at the map that is there in this chapter, and you will come to know which portion is divided into which type of physical feature. Okay, so for that you need to reread the chapter and then get on to the back exercises to understand the chapter better. All right children, get going.